Mark decided to roll down the car window and stick his hand outside to gauge how thick the mud was. But as soon as he applied some force, a torrent of mud started pouring in, and he quickly cranked the window back up in a panic. Just as he began to catch his breath, he noticed a crack forming in the sunroof. This sight sent him into a frenzy. He grabbed some duct tape and tried to seal the crack, but the immense pressure from the mud rendered the tape useless. As the crack widened, Mark had no choice but to use the steering wheel lock, securing it across the sunroof to prevent the glass from caving in. After all this effort, Mark was completely exhausted. Just then, he noticed water seeping through the sunroof. In desperation, he began to drink the water, and after ensuring it was clean enough, he took out a credit card from his wallet, folded it into a funnel shape, and inserted it into the mouth of a water bottle. He carefully positioned the funnel under the leaking water, allowing the bottle to fill up. Although he had solved the water problem, Mark knew he couldn't rest yet. Determined to see how deeply he was buried, Mark found a metal rod and drilled a small hole in the bottle cap, then tied a rope to the rod and secured it to the top of a steel pipe. He pushed the rod upwards through the sunroof, but to his dismay, even after extending the rod fully, he couldn't find the surface. Running out of options, he used duct tape to join two steel pipes together and continued pushing upwards. Unfortunately, the resistance was much greater this time, and no matter how hard he pushed, the rod wouldn't budge. Mark then retrieved a jack from the trunk, and with its help, the rod moved more smoothly. Just as he started to feel a glimmer of hope, he realized the jack had reached its maximum height, yet the rod still wasn't long enough to reach the surface. Left with no other choice, Mark used his shoulder to push the rod with all his might, and finally, he caught sight of the sky through the other end. The sight of that small patch of sky filled Mark with overwhelming joy. He inhaled the fresh air deeply and began shouting for help at the top of his lungs. But after hours of yelling, there was still no response. Desperate, he lit a newspaper, hoping the smoke would attract attention. Little did he know that this act nearly cost him his life.